Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I know it's been a long one. Before I get into this, I did want to share a Bible verse with you all, anybody that's going out tomorrow. So today's verse, let's go with Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2. High rivers tomorrow, so I think this fits in just perfect. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, there shall not overcome you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle on you. There you go. If you're going out to the river, I know here in the Pacific Northwest, we have an atmospheric river system coming in. And let me show you guys a picture of that real quick. Okay, it's not going to be the best video through this because I'm showing you guys through the computer screen, but right here is Washington State, and you can see all of this coming in. So we're supposed to be getting 15,000 cubic feet of rain. I don't know what that equates to in feet, but basically means a lot of rain. Rivers are going to be rising, so if you're out there, be safe. Okay, with that being said, today's video, I'm going to clean out my fly tying material. So I figured this would be a great opportunity, one, for me to do it. It would motivate me to just share this with you all. Anybody that's new into fly tying, I'm going to tell you a basic understanding of what I know with the materials I have, what I use them for. I primarily tie marabou flies, and I'm trying to learn how to do some intruder flies. I'm not the best at it. Disclaimer, anything that I'm telling you in this video, I have not caught a steelhead. So this is all head knowledge, things I've read, things I've researched. So there's other people out there that you guys can learn from that will actually share with you the flies they've actually caught that they tie. I'm going to give you some knowledge like white blue fly, white orange, weather conditions, and this and that from there. Again, it's all head knowledge because I haven't caught anything. So let's take a look at the fly tying stuff. And again, if you don't want to hang out while I'm just organizing, this is just going to be an organizing day. So I'll see you guys over there. Let's go. Alrighty, let's get into this. Excuse the mess, I'm in the spare bedroom, and if you see me getting bumped around, that is because we have Mr. Gus right there. Alright, so let's see, I have this marabou bag here. And the goal that I'm trying to accomplish today is, like I said, I'm primarily tying tube flies, Arctic fox. I really like this for tying up a shoulder. Again, I'll go over some of these terms maybe on the bites if you're new. Again, if you're intermediate to advanced, I know this video is probably not going to be for you because you know about this stuff a lot better than I do, but if you can gain anything from my mistakes of what I'm saying or what I'm sharing, that's awesome. My whole goal is just to add value to everybody and help us all learn and grow from there. So just pulled out some ostrich hurl. One of the tricks I do is I like to put things in a baggie, label it Arctic fox, ostrich hurl. Again, if you're new, what I would recommend is I would get materials so you're not spending a lot of money. You might be able to get away with spending, I don't know, maybe $100, maybe $200 on material. This is what I would recommend. You want something that wiggles, and you want something that basically wiggles and has a lot of movement. So marabou's a good one. Ostrich hurl is good. I mean, you can see this ostrich hurl, you know how well that moves in there. Marabou, like I said, moves really well. What do we got here? Some rubber legs, black and blue. I'll go over color conditions and all that later. Looks like we got some sink tips there, mo tips. We don't need that. Okay, and I primarily tie on tube flies. I think the reason why I started tying tube flies was because I wanted the style of flies, but just couldn't find them on a hook fly or anything. Again, here's another baggie, some old school like dubbing when I first started. Some chenille in here, some tube flies, some tubes for flies. Some shoe shine, don't forget it. Not for flies, it's just for shoes, FYI. Cool, so here we kind of get into kind of the bolt for tying intruder flies. You know, I got some fusion dub here. This is something that I was starting to get into as I took a break. It's been a few months, but again, yeah, fusion dubbing is always good for intruder flies. It's a big staple. Again, we got chenille, crystal flash, hooks, some pro tube stuff, some predator wrap in there. And I don't know, this is some duck stuff and just a random bag. Again, this was from a buddy of mine, some turkey quills. These are more for like some pheasant tail, some ostrich churl. This is more for like stuff I would use for like classic wet flies. I don't tie a whole lot of that. But I mean, again, I mean, this nice turkey quill right here. I mean, how can you not go wrong, wrong? I don't know. Words are hard. It's a good material to have. I like it because it'll stiffen things up. You can put it in between, and as it lays, it won't fold on each other, and it's just kind of a good accent. I would use it for kind of like summer flies or something. Again, it's a good quill to have. Let's see here. So that was some pheasant for a contest that we failed horribly at. Again, some ostrich churl here. It's not my favorite, but again, as I'm practicing to use with ostrich churl to put things in a composite loop, that works great. Some flash, some thread, so I'll have to figure out where to put this. I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, so that's it. So like I said, what I'm going to do now that the drawers are empty, I'm kind of going to make one drawer full of just everything that is for marabou tying and flies and some tube flies. So yeah, let me organize this and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, I'll just take you guys with me here and kind of give you my thought process. Maybe you all will learn something from me and be like, dude, I wouldn't do that, think that way about it, I would do it this way. Or maybe this will be helpful for you. Okay, so I'm just going to use the biggest box that I have here. So let's see, I'm going to start off with, obviously, I got marabou in here. Obviously, I'll use that. I have the zonker strips in here too. I like to use those for, you know, an easy way of tying up a body. Some flash, we'll put that somewhere else. Let's see. Fusion, we'll put in here because we'll use this for intruders also. Let's see. Guess I should have done a better job of cleaning that out, but whatever. There's the Flashaboo we'll put in there. Arctic Fox and Ostrich churl. These are one of my favorite materials to use. This Arctic Fox, like I said, it's let me show you here. Arctic Fox tail, Air Hot Orange, AFT 187 by Hairline. It reminds me of, you guys remember those troll babies with the hair? That's what, Gus, stop. Hey, I'm trying to do a video, big guy, come on. With the hair and everything, that's what this stuff reminds me of. It's really good for putting as a shoulder. You can see how thick this is. And I mean, a little of this goes a really long way. And I'll show you guys how to use this once I get everything set up there. Alright, so this can go back in that bag. And let's see, we'll put all the ostrich churl in here. This way I can kind of get through things a little better. Again, more Arctic Fox. I like the blue also. Kingfisher is a very popular one. That's Hairline AZ199, as you can see right there. I paid $6.25 for it. Maybe you can find it cheaper. Okay. Bucktail, Schlappen, Grizzly Hackle. So the bucktail is something that I haven't used much, but I know it's for stiff material. I have a for license set here, Bucktail Combo BCFL by Hairline, but I have these capes also. That's some guinea. Guinea's really good for hobo spay flies. That's another fly I'll tie up. You know, I like it for bull trout. It's good for, from what I've read, it's good for steelhead in the summertime. Let's see. So here's what I'm talking about. I love these grizzly saddles here. They're really good for finishing a fly off. You get that nice like horn, you know, shape on it on the top, or wings from there. It really adds a lot of, I don't want to say so much movement, but it definitely gives it a good look. Again, what looks good may necessarily not work. Intruder flies are kind of what are the go-to in the steelhead world. But again, it's good to mix things up. Options are good. Looks like I'm putting everything in one box there because that's primarily what I use. But here we got some Predator wrap. And what else? We got some Crystal Flash. So we'll just put this in our flashy section here. Down with the little swim tank. And this is kind of my grab and go box. So what I usually do with this is, if I know that I'm going to be tying up a certain amount or a certain style of flies, like intruders that day, I'll make this my intruder kit, and then I'll just take it with me so I have everything there and I can lay it out on my desk. I don't remember what I was tying last with this, but again, it's been quite a while, so I don't know. Let's see, we'll put, I guess, this peacock, I guess we'll just put it in there too. Alright, here, let's just do this. I know I'm not handling this all the best way, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, we got some wax right there, that's always good. Alright, and then as far as this stuff down here goes, like I said, this is very like random stuff. I don't want to get rid of material. Boy, we missed a whole drawer up there. That is full of tubes and glue. So some chenille. Yeah, so here's what I'm looking at in case you guys are wondering. Like I said, it's nothing pretty in there. Looks like a bomb went off, but like I said, I don't use that stuff much, so I'm gonna just put that in there along with our trusty shoe polish. So yeah, that's pretty much I think what I'm gonna do. And again, I have all my threads in here, and you know, my flashes, you know, mustat hooks just for practice when I was first starting out. These are great for putting marabou in. Hope you do some composite loops. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't know, maybe we'll get to the vise and I'll show you guys a couple things. But as far as color goes, you know, the things I've been reading, like black and blue colors are good for high water, rainy days. It's a good contrast for, you know, the background of the water. Blue is what, again, from what I've read, fish trigger on the blue because it reminds them of a dead fish. So when they see this blue pattern, it's supposed to tap into their mindset of that. Oranges, lighter colors are good for low clear water or clear water, bright day. So primarily in the wintertime, you'll see a lot of pinks. Let me see, pinks, purples, blue. I'm going off memory here. Pink, blue, purple, and black. And I hear a little bit of orange. So if there's a favorite color combination you like, leave that out, or leave it in the comment section. But yeah, I need to figure out where I'm going to put this. So, alright, I hope that video was helpful. Alright, so check it out. I got the vise set up right here. I'm going to try to show you guys this from the chest cam, see how this works. But let's get into actually showing you guys a couple things here as you're a beginner, and I'll show you the struggles that I go through. Okay, let's try this. That did not work out the way. Anyways, Pro Tube Sport Fisher flies, tubes. These are what you can use. You get 14 of these for $6.99 depending on where you go. Now, I had a buddy of mine show these to me here. Let me zoom out. These here, I guess, are for water balloons. You hook up the garden hose that way, and this fills up the water balloon from there. You get, I don't know, I'm just guessing, what do you got here? 2, 4, 8, you probably have 25, maybe 30 of these. They're about 9 inches, and you can get about 1 fly, 2 flies. You can get about 3 or 4 flies on this. So this is what I use as a cheater. It works. Now you get this needle here for your 2 flies. I believe this is the Pro Tube Fisher one. I think it was 30 bucks. I know, ouch, a little expensive. But basically, here's what you do. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. So you just basically put that tube over. Now I'm using my not very sharp scissors in case I hit the metal. I don't want to dull them. So you can see it's pretty transparent there, translucent. And then I cut it from there. And so again, just for demonstration purposes here, I want to show you guys, let me get the Arctic Fox because I was talking about a shoulder here. Okay, so kind of got a little ahead of myself. Again, I'm just going to show you guys a demonstration of using Arctic Fox. I'm just going to tie this on here. Again, I don't do anything special. Obviously, I'm not a professional fly tyer by any means. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to do a composite loop, and that's basically where you're going to take your thread, pull it down. Again, if you want to see better videos on this, go check out Jerry French. I'm just going to go wrap that around or over, come around to close that loop up, and wind it forward. I'm going to take my loop dubbing spinner there, and then I'm just going to use some of this orange, like I said, just to show you guys. Again, I'm just going to use very little. Actually, I'm going to do less than that. Go about that little. Again, I'm just going to use my dull scissors, dull-ish, because I'm not trying to do precision here. And again, I'm just being very quick about this, guys, because I want to show you this. Alright, so that got all wound up on me. Just going to back that off. Go, spin that open. Now, did you guys do this? Just keep in mind, this is going to be a learning curve. I mean, if you can jump into this on your first or second fly, that's great. That's the one thing that I got caught up with, is watching videos of like, oh yay, I can do this. So the whole idea of this is you want to have this at like 50-50, you know, 40-60, whatever, you know, depends on what you're trying to do. My goal for this is just to show you what a shoulder looks like. So this is a shoulder. Now a shoulder, I'm going to spin this up because I want this to close up. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to spin it up again. I want to make it nice and tight. Do keep in mind you can spin this too much to where it will break. That's what's happened. I have tension here with my thumb and my index finger, and then I'm just holding the spinner. Now I'm going to release my 2 fingers and watch it spin up. See? That's what I'm talking about. I didn't spin it enough. Now it should do it now once I get done with this. Let's see. There we go. Now you see it start to spin up. That spins it all up nice and tight there. I'm going to spin it up again. There we go. We got that nice and tight there. So again, this is just going to be a nice shoulder here. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, that dubbing loop was way too long, but I'm just making wraps on top of it. And again, since I've done so much of that, I'm just going to wrap that all in. Should have kept recording there. I just show you guys this. I dropped this, and this is why it's important to have strong thread. Hopefully it doesn't break, but I dropped it and it didn't break. Now again, the reason why I'm using Beavis 8/0, and the reason I'm using this is because it's good for spinning up composite loops. But here's what I'm going to do. You can see I have this thread right there. Now I'm going to close this loop up, and I'm just going to go right on the top of it. Do one more, and then I'm going to cut this off. Great. So that's that. Put this back in our Arctic Fox baggie. And just to, show the color wise here, because I don't want this to blend in. That's an old marabou. So I gotta remember that if you're doing this for the first time with marabou, here is a quill. Now again, I'm using, show that to you guys, Nature Spirit Fish Hunter Spare Marabou. Spay Marabou, spare. I don't have the price on this, but this stuff isn't too expensive. So now the whole idea behind this is, I guess I'll get into the weeds about this. You can see where this is a thick stem, and then this gets really fine. You can use this for woolly buggers and stuff, but I already digress. Let's just stick at the task at hand here. So I'm not going to use all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to tie in from here, and I want where it starts to get thick on the quill. So this is where I'll use my sharper scissors. I'm just going to cut that right there. Just throw that off to the side. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to take my fingertips, moisten them a little, and I'm going to kind of make like a little stem right there. I'm trying to show you guys this through the phone so you can see it. Now I'm going to use this stem, and again, there's a certain way where you want to see which way this is flowing, and like this is the back side of it. You can kind of see how it's kind of like a cavity, and then you can see this way. Again, this isn't the best piece of marabou, but I'm just trying to show you guys something here. Again, I could brush this out. You want the back side of it to where it looks like that, so you can see. If I show you this way, you see how it's kind of folding that way. I know, just put the material on there, Paul. Show us. I get it. Alright, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just gonna wrap on top of that, tighten that up. 1, 2, 3, once we get around that. And again, you'll hear people say, like they don't want to put too many wraps in for bulk. I'm not going for delicate flies here. These are going to be steelhead flies. Now I'm just going to bring this forward, and then I'm going to cut all this off. I'll use my sharper scissors here just to make it easy on myself. Be mindful you don't cut your thread. Been there, done that. Alright, now I brought my thread from here to here about half an inch, because that's maybe how much when I get done making my wraps where the marabou is gonna go. So I recommend you get some pliers like this. They're great for sticking on like the end of your material to help you wrap. So I just put that on top of there. Now this is called palmering, and what I'm doing is I'm just basically massaging these fibers back so that they'll lay back away from me. So I'm going to the left of me, towards my left shoulder. And I probably won't use all of this. So again, I make one wrap. Now the goal of this is that this marabou is gonna lay on top of that orange, hence the shoulder part. Because if you don't have that shoulder there, then that marabou just collapses. That's 2 wraps. And again, you wanna be mindful as you're putting your first 2 wraps in, because if you do them very heavy-handed, you can rip that out right away. And the more I get more wraps into this, the better I'm gonna be at being able to put more force into it. So again, most people will usually do about 3 wraps depending on what their goal is. I'm gonna do their goal, meaning how full or how sparse they want that fly. I know on king flies, they want them pretty sparse, so lots of material. I know Lael Johnson has a video out there on a nightcrawler fly, and he wraps the whole stem in. I mean, it's really kind of tough to do for managing the material. God bless him for being able to do it, and everybody else that can do it. It's very challenging from there. Okay, so now you can see I have I'm putting my thumb up here, I'm resting my hand on here, I'm putting tension on my thumb to make sure that this doesn't sag on me, because I want to keep that tension. So to make my life easier, like I said, I'm not going to use any of this. I can't really see, so I'm going to cut all that off. That's why I'm going to use the sharper scissors. Okay, so now what I do is I have this part here, and then I'm going to bring my thread back. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cross. I'm going to take my tying thread, I'm going to put it on top of this section. I just swap it over with my pinky. Now all that material, yes, I just went over it with my thread, and I'm basically tying that all off. I'm pulling up with the pinky, you can see the tension. I'm pulling down with my left thumb on the thread to give it tension and to tighten it. And again, I can see my opening. Now, more advanced fly tyers do a very good job at peeling off the material they're not going to use ahead of time, so that they don't have all this material right here and they can see better. But you can see, well, I guess you really can't, but in the middle of all this is where I have my thread. So sharp scissors, I'm kind of doing this blindly, making sure I don't cut the thread. That's the section we have. This is what we have of the fly. So I'm going to just palmer this back, and I do have that stem right there. And now I'm going to make 1 heavy wrap, 2 heavy wraps, 3 heavy wraps. Now I'm going to use, you can see all the material flying around. Now this is called a whip tool, a whip finish tool. So again, I'm going to take some moisture, and I'm just going to massage these fibers out of the way and straight back. Alright, now you take the hook part of this and you stab it in, and you come around the bend. Again, I still have some challenges with this, as you can see, and it basically makes almost like a figure 8. There's videos out there, if you just type whip finish tool on YouTube, you'll see some better videos. And again, with the tube fly, it's tricky because you got to deal with this tube. So I come around, I make 1 wrap. I come around right here, I want to be careful because that purple plastic does have some burrs on it, and I don't want to fray my thread as I make that around the tube. So I'm gonna go one more. That's 3. And again, 4. Again, you're usually done after 3 if you know what you're doing. Again, like I said, I'm not all that great at this. So I'm gonna pull. I'm pulling. Come down to where it is. There it is. I don't want to lose my thread, so I'm gonna back that out. And so yes, what you would do is you would cut this off. You'd put cement glue or super glue or whatever it is you wanted on there. You're gonna cut, oh here, we don't want to cut into the metal part. So I'm gonna just cut that there, cut it off. Now you can burn this. Just be mindful that you're not burning all your material. And so yeah, that's what that's gonna look like. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Whee, look at all that. So that's basically, I mean, you could fish this right there. You know, this would be a nice, you know, maybe light colored water day, you know, a little bit of sun out. You got the orange butt section. You got that orange section in the back there. And then again, just that little tube right there. And again, you can tie other stuff into there, but that's what the basic of the Arctic Fox is for. It gives you that nice shoulder, that nice profile. So kind of a crash course. Hope that helps. I know that's a lengthy video, but like I said, that's kind of the basics of what you can use Arctic Fox for. That's called a shoulder, and then you can put the marabou on top of it to where it makes it have that nice teardrop, because without that Arctic Fox, then it just collapses and it looks like, you know, just flat from there. So when it's going through the water, it has that nice undulated motion in there, and it won't fold on top of each other. So hope that helps.